So yesterday I got my first pair of acrylic nails, and let me just tell you, I feel empowered. I'm really digging it. Don't necessarily know how to use my hands, and when I talk I like to feel the nails, so excuse my weird hand motions throughout this video. But I am going to share with you guys my summer TBR. So I would film like a monthly TBR, but I've noticed that when I film a monthly TBR, I don't actually end up reading any of the books that I want to read. I will read like 15 other books besides the 4 books that I was like, Kenzie, you're gonna read these. I'm not gonna do a monthly TBR because they will never be accomplished. If I'm being honest with myself, this summer TBR probably won't get read. But the books that I'm sharing with you are the books that I really want to get to this summer, and I just want to read at least, I think I have like 11 books. I just want to read at least 6 of them. At least. Will I though? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm gonna share with you guys my summer TBR. So we're gonna go. The first book that I want to read this summer is American Assassin by Vince Flynn. This was recently turned into a movie. It stars Dylan O'Brien, my husband. But yeah, it's very action-packed. I have recently wanted to get into more thrillers. So I saw the movie. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't bad. I've read about 2 chapters so far, and it's actually pretty good. But yeah, I'm just kinda... The next book that I want to get to this summer is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I probably won't get to this book. I don't know what it is, but like, Jay Kristoff just really intimidates me. And, you know, I went to his signing, and, like, he's a great guy, he's hilarious, but, like, there's something about his writing that just really scares me, and I think it's because everyone loves him, and I want to love him, but I'm scared that I won't, and I really want to get to Nevernight. If I do, though, that's... The next book I want to read this summer, well, kind of book series, is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. I want to reread this book series, the first one especially. I haven't read it in a long time. Granted, I read the first book, at least like a chapter or 2 from it, every month. That's how I am. I have to have some sort of Percy Jackson in my life. But I actually just want to like read the series again. I might even like skip the first book and do like book 2 through 5, just because I don't actually read book 2 through 5 a lot. I could probably quote The Lightning Thief, but every other book I'm kind of like, I know what happens, but I don't know it, you know? So I want to reread this series. The next book that I want to read is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. On top of thriller, I also want to get more into like dystopian, sci-fi, that kind of genre. And I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm really excited. I think I'm really gonna like it, but I don't know. I don't tend to like a lot of super sci-fi, like dystopian, and yeah. The next book I want to read is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I was in love with the Lunar Chronicles, and I just really want to read all of Marissa Meyer's books. Granted, I still haven't read Heartless. Yeah, the cover's beautiful. I do think that the second book's cover just came out, and that really sparked me to want to read this more. So I really want to get to this. The next book I want to read this summer is Frat Girl by Kelly Roche. That's how I'm gonna say it. Otherwise, I'm gonna pronounce it as Roach, and that just doesn't sound nice. So this is a new release. I got an autographed copy because I'm amazing. But yeah, I really want to read this. It's very feminist, involves sororities and fraternities, and it sounds like a fun contemporary. The next book I want to read is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. My friend Abby over at Books and Espresso on Bookstagram has been hounding me to read this ever since she finished it. I finally picked it up, and so I will get to this book this summer, because Abby will make sure I get to this book this summer. The next book I want to read is Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I recently just found out that this book was a thing, and I recently just bought this book. One, mainly because I really liked this 5th anniversary edition cover, and it was only $2. So, yeah, I really want to get to this book. I think it's about, like, gangs. Apparently it's a classic. Who knew? Who knew? I didn't. But yeah. The next book I want to get to this summer is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. I did start this book. I got it for an Owl Crate box a while back. I think it was, oh my gosh. It was either February or March's box. But I did start it and I really like it. I just wasn't in a mood to A, read, and B, like, to just be in like this sci-fi kind of fantasy world. I do want to finish it, but recently she posted something on Twitter saying like all of the tropes and like cliches that were in this book, and they were all ones that I loved, and so I am just really excited now to get to this book. So the next book I want to read is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This was one of my most anticipated releases for this year, and I am so sad that I haven't gotten to it. I've started it. I'm on page 20. But I started reading it, and then Leah on the Offbeat came out, so I had to read that one. And then I had finals, and then I got, you know, I didn't want to do anything that involved literature or writing or reading, and but yeah, I am really excited to read this one. The next book I want to get to this summer is SPQR, A History of Ancient Rome by Mary Beard. This is a history book. There really isn't anything like super fun and exciting about this book. It gives you details about Rome's history and the life in Rome. It's been on my bookshelf for about a year and a half, and I recently just felt this need to dive back into Greek and Roman history, and so I really want to pick this one up. The language is kind of textual. It's like a conversational, like textual history book. Does that make sense? And so I probably will read this one like sporadically. I don't think I'll just like sit down and dive into it. I think it'll be like chapter, another book, chapter, another book. The next book I want to get to is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. I went to her signing and she is amazing. She's very sarcastic and quiet and funny. This is an LGBTQ fantasy. There's like a princess who's like supposed to get engaged to a prince, but she ends up falling for like this female knight or something like that. It sounds really like sweet and just lovable fantasy. And the last book I want to get to this summer is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. This is a newer YA contemporary release. I've heard so many great things about it, and so I really am excited to read it. I do think I might bring this book home and read it like whoosh, hopefully, but who knows. But yeah, that one. Alright, that is it for the books I want to read this summer. Don't necessarily know if I'll get to all of them. I probably won't. I do think I'll be able to knock like the contemporaries out, and obviously like the Percy Jackson, because like why would I ever stop myself from reading Percy Jackson? But, yeah, that is it for this video. What are some of the books on your summer TBR? Please comment them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys plan on reading this summer. But other than that, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. Bye! And hold me in your arms again.